Hello and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SHAKIRIN IZZATI binti SHAMSULGHAFAR and my metric number is AS13289. My group will be presenting on evolution of Lycophytes. So here are my group mates, which are AINA, MUNAWWARAH, IMRAN and ARISHA. We are from group 6. So, by the end of the presentation, we will be able to list the unique structural adaptations seen in Lycophytes, as well as recognize the features present that make Cooksonia as a vascular plant. So, these are the subtopics we will discuss today, which are vascular plant, Lycophyte structure, plant types, and fun facts about Lycophytes. Lycophytes leaves are known as microphytes, as they only have one strand of vascular tissue and it is a vascular plant. Trachyphytes. So, I will go into vascular plants in better detail. First and foremost, we must understand about vascular tissue. There are roots in vascular tissue that will absorb water from the soil, phloem that will transport nutrients in a plant, and xylem in vascular tissue that transport water from the stem and to the leaf, and lignin that will strengthen the plant cell walls. The function of xylem and phloem are as follows. First, water is transported from the soil to the stems and leaves through xylem. It contains lignin, which help to reinforce the cell walls of plants, essential for the evolution of higher and upright plants. Phloem is a plant's nutrient transfer system. It has a pathway for signaling molecules. It has a structural function in the plant body. The origin of vascular plants will be our next topic. One of the first vascular plants was Cooksonia. The rhinophytes were around 6.5 cm tall and lacked roots and leaves. It made up of an even forked stem. Cooksonia's branching is relevant for two reasons. First, many sporangia were generated resulting in more spores, and plants with vascular tissue has this characteristic. Cooksonia is classified as a seedless vascular plant due to its sporangia, which release full-blown spores.
My name is ARISHA AQILAH binti MOHAMAD ZARIYANI and my metric number is AS13104. So today I will present about Lycophytes. Firstly, what is Lycophytes? Lycophytes is a vascular plant also known as Trachyphytes. Lycophytes is a leaf that is called as microphytes because they had only one strand of vascular tissue, or in simpler words, you can say that microphytes is a small leaf with one vine. As you can see at the picture here, microphytes evolve as simple side extension of the stem, meanwhile the roots evolve as lower extensions. There are three main groups of Lycophytes here, which is the first one is called as club mosses or Lycopodium. Lycopodium widely used in the treatment of aneurysm, constipations, fevers, and also chronic lung. And the second one is spike mosses, also known as Selaginella. Selaginella species are used as food, for handicraft, and also as ornaments. And lastly, there is quillworts, which is isoids. Quillworts are spore-producing plants and highly reliant on water dispersions. For your information, although many Lycophytes here have moss in their name, but unlike their name, they are not actually a moss, and they are a vascular plants. Next, I will explain about structure of Lycophytes. We are going to see the structure from up to downwards. So, on top here, we have a cone-shaped structure which is called as strobili. The strobili resemble as a club or heavy stick. And then, there are sporangia here born on the strobili where the meiosis takes place and where the spores are produced. Then, we have a slender and branched stem which is called as aerial stem. And there are also numerous small leaves here that is microphyll, and contains vascular tissue. Lastly, and down here we have a rhizome act as an underground stem. Let's focus on sporangia now. If you still remember, sporangia born on the strawberry and have been described as a spore-producing structure. And it is produced only one type of spore, and sporangia also will grow into one type of gametophyte that is called as homospores. So now, let's see what types of plants we have here. So, as we can see, there are two types of plants, which is homosporous and heterosporous. We will focus on homosporous first. Homosporous is a plant that has spores and it will grow into one type of gametophyte only. Meanwhile, for the heterosporous, it is a plant that has two types of spores, which is microspores and megaspores. You guys must have been wondering, right? What is a microspores and what is megaspores? Can you all guess? Alright, we will see on the slide here. Microspores is a spore that will grow into male gametophyte, and meanwhile, megaspores is a spore that will grow into female gametophyte.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. My name is MOHAMAD bin SOFIAN and my metric number is AS13261. Now, I am going to talk about a structure of a fern. As what you can see right now is a part of a fern, which is the leaf, or sometimes we call it as a frond. In the frond, it has a blade, which is the part that is rich in chlorophyll. Also, we have petiole, which connects the blade to the rhizome or stem. There is also midrib, which is the extension of the petiole where the leaflet or pinna is attached to. Then we have the pinna. It is the segment of the frond's blade, where the underside of it is where bears the sori. The tip of the frond is called apex. And the last part is the fern sori. Sori, or in singular, sorus, are groups of sporangia which contain spores. Sori are usually found on the underside of the blade. Young sori are commonly covered by protective tissue called indusia or indusium in singular. Depending on the species, fern leaves display a wide array of divisions. The one right here is pinnate because the frond is divided into segments completely separated from each other. A fun fact about the fern is that it can use both sexual and asexual reproduction method. In sexual reproduction, a haploid spore grows into a haploid gametophyte. If there is enough moisture, the gametophyte is fertilized and grows into a diploid sporophyte. The sporophyte produces spores, which completing the life cycle. While in asexual method of reproduction, these include apogamy, proliferous frond tips, and rhizome spreading.
My name is AINA MUNAWWARAH binti MAZLAN from Kuliah 17, AS13236. Now, I'm going to show you some of the applications of Lycophyte spores. First, Lycopodium powder used for early flash photography. Next, vegetable sulfur used in fireworks and also magic tricks. And last but not least, Lycopodium powder used to coat pills and latex gloves. Based on our learning today, we know that xylem transport water through stems, while phloem transport nutrients in plant. Cooksonia is the first vascular plant, and Lycophytes called as microphytes. We also know that we have three main groups in Lycophytes, which is club mosses, spike mosses, and quillworts. There is two types of plant, which is homosporous, that grow into one type of gametophyte, while heterosporous that grow into two types of gametophytes. Now, let's conclude our learning today. So, Lycopodium plant body is a sporophyte which is diploid to end. Strobilus or cone is the spore-bearing structure. In Strobilus, diploid spore mother cells undergo meiosis forming hypospores. Spores germinate forming gametophyte or pedicellus, which is monoecious. Both endoradia and archegonia are present. Then, anteradium produce sperm. Sperms are multiflagellate, while archegonium produce eggs. The fertilization is oogamous. Zygote divides to form embryonic sporophyte, later form mature plant body. And that's how the Lycopodium were created. I think that's all from us.